Hello, everyone, and welcome to what is likely the last reading for 2023 and the first reading for 2024, where we're going to ask, what does this new year have in store for you? So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to pick a card. You can pause and take your time. All of the cards that you see here in front of you, these are only the major arcana of each deck. So in a moment, I'll ask you to pick which one resonates with you. I will pull three cards. Everyone is going to get three major arcana, which is going to give you the main instance or the main theme of this year. And then I will pull from the minor arcana of each deck to get a little bit more information about who, what, when, where. So firstly, to the left over here, this is the Secrets of the Tarot. This looks kind of like a mosaic. It's very similar to the Rider-Waite tarot deck, but it looks a little bit more like a mosaic, a bit grainy. Then number 2 over here, this is the Prisma Visions tarot deck. This is a very calming, meditative deck. Number 3 over here is our good old Rider-Waite, the most popular deck. And lastly, number 4 on the far right, this is the Marseilles tarot deck. It uses the 3 primary colors. Welcome group number 1 who chose the Secrets of the Tarot. So I'm now going to pull 3 cards that are going to give us the overall theme or the major thing that's going to happen to you this year. Let's see. So we have Justice, the Empress, and the Hermit. So I'll give you a closer look here. So here we have Justice. This could be legal troubles, or it could just be a matter of ethics or a matter of principle and the right thing happening. Next we have the Empress. So we see here that she's smiling. She's about fertility, abundance, very relaxed, leisurely lifestyle. So immediately I'm having the impression that maybe someone has won a court case, maybe won some money. But then over here we have the Hermit, and the Hermit is about reflection, about meditation, study, wanting to retreat to maybe learn or do some soul searching. So at first glance, these 3, it would suggest to me that there is some kind of justice, so whether it's some kind of ruling, whether it's legal or otherwise, some kind of governing body having their say. And it seems to me that one party is going to be happy with the outcome and the other party is going to have to retreat and have a think about what they've done. So I'm now going to get the minor arcana, and I'm going to ask for a bit more clarity about what is happening here. One moment, I'll be right back. Alrighty, let's see. So I'm going to get 4 cards. I really want this one. And this one. I want this one. And lastly, this one. All right, let me just tidy this up. I will be right back. Alrighty, so at first glance we have a mix of swords and wands. So swords are about the mind, ideas, maybe worries, and wands, they have to do with energy, but it can do with commerce, negotiation, coming and going. So let's have a look. Firstly, we have the Queen of Swords. And immediately I see that she is not dissimilar to Justice in that they're both ladies with swords, but both of them are about putting your foot down and doing what needs to be done. But I feel Justice is a bit more investigative, more impartial. Evidence is presented to her and she weighs things up. Whereas the Queen of Swords, I feel, is more active. She needs to be more resolute, maybe making difficult decisions, maybe having to stand her ground and fight. So my initial instinct is that this is you pleading your case before the judge or before Lady Justice. Next door, we have the 5 of Wands. Now, 5 is about temporary volatile situation. All the 5s are about some kind of volatility. This one is, as you can see, it's people fighting, but it can be miscommunication. It can be verbally. It doesn't have to be physical. But I think both parties, or all parties, as you can see here, I think there's two people here in the foreground, but there's some other fighting in the background as well. So I think all parties involved are putting a lot of effort into this struggle. I think likely it started maybe with these two participants, but then probably this person's friend jumped in and then that person's friend jumped in. So I feel that maybe a whole family or a whole friendship group has gotten involved in this dispute. Now, next door, we have the Four of Wands, and there's two ways of interpreting this. They're both possible. What am I saying? They are both two good outcomes. The way that I normally interpret it is about having a support network. It's about growth. Fours are about stability. So it's nice that we've had the five, which is volatile, but then we've got the four, which is stability. And these people seem to be celebrating. So it can either be you've got a good team behind you who help you win this matter in front of Lady Justice. Some people do read this as like a party or a celebration, which is like the second way of reading it. But then next door, we have the Two of Swords. So here we are, the Two of Swords. So this lady is at a crossroads. She doesn't know what to do. As you can see, she's blindfolded and she has to make a decision. But because the swords are about the mind and ideas, I think that on her own, she doesn't know what to do. So she is seeking more information, a third-party opinion to make up her mind. So I have the feeling that this is some kind of judgment in your favor, whether it's legal or otherwise. I believe you have had to go to present your case in front of a judge or someone who makes decisions. I believe that you have been strong, you've been steadfast, you've got your evidence, you've argued your case. Here's the fighting or the disagreement. I believe that you win the case. I see that in the Four of Wands and also the Empress over here. She's quite happy. She's got this abundant background behind her. She's relaxing, reclining. But then we have, to round things off, we have the Hermit who seeks solitude. Now it's important to note, the Hermit has chosen to be alone to meditate. The Hermit is not ostracized. He's chosen this for himself. And then over here we have the Two of Wands, which is this lady who has to think, has to make a decision, which I think ties in with the Hermit. So I believe that you will win this case, so you are on track to win this case. But I think you need to stand strong. I think at the last moment, you might soften, like your heart might warm, so to speak, and you might think, oh, even though this person has wronged me, I forgive them. I'm going to, withdraw the court case or something like that. I would say that's what this card is about. That on one hand, you're like, well, I'm right. This person has wronged me. I've got all my evidence. But on the other hand, you're thinking, oh, maybe I should just forgive them. Maybe I should just give them a second chance. Look, I have my opinions. It's not really for me to give you my opinion on this matter. It's for me to tell you what the cards say. I believe that you are on track to win. I believe that you are right. I believe that you have all the evidence to present your case successfully. The fact that you have a lot of swords and no cups, to me, that suggests that you should make this decision with your head, not your heart. So like the Queen of Swords over here, how she is resolute, she is steadfast, she can stand her ground, she can make difficult decisions. I think the cards are indicating this should be you. You should do what is logical. You should make this decision with your head, not your heart. So I hope that was of some use, but I am getting the feeling that I should draw just one more card to get like a little bit more of a resolution about what is this lady thinking about. One second, let me just shuffle these. Let's get a little bit more of a resolution. What action is it that you should take? Let's put this here. Let's cut the cards. What action should you take? Queen of Wands. So again, Wands, she's a smiling lady. She's a queen, so I would say she's successful, triumphant, like the Empress, smiling. She's got flowering plants around her, living comfortably. So I would say, again, the Wands can be about negotiation, charisma. Again, it's not a cup. So in terms of making a decision with your head or your heart, I think this is saying be persuasive, argue your case successfully, and you will be victorious. And I think also the Queen obviously is a little bit higher than, you know, the two of the suit. So again, I'm leaning towards go to court, have your day in court, don't pull any punches, present your case, and let Lady Justice decide. And if you are right, which I think you are, if Lady Justice rules in your favor, then so be it. Don't feel bad about your victory. You are in the right. I hope that clarified things for you, and I wish you all the best with this matter and for the rest of 2024. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year. Welcome group number 2 who chose the Prisma Visions Tarot deck. So now I'm just going to pull 3 cards to see what this year has in store for you. Remember, these are all major arcana, and then we'll get the minor arcana to see who, what, when, where. So let's see. So here we have Judgment. So on this deck, you have to take into account what each card means in general, but also what are the motifs on the deck you're using. So in this case, I really feel that you've been judged worthy. So looking at this open door, I really feel that you've been judged to go forth. Then next we have the Chariot. The Chariot can be about success, but it's more about imposing your will. And also it can be a journey. Sorry, I apologize, I'm losing my voice. It can be a journey. I really do feel that these two together, you have been judged worthy to take some action. So now you have to travel to a particular destination. And then lastly, we have Strength. I do feel this is adversarial because if we look at the lion here, it's got its fangs out and you can see possibly a man in the shadows. I feel that there's maybe like an attack happening here on the lion. But I feel that you have been judged worthy to engage in this battle. I feel it is something physical. Now, I don't know if some of you practice martial arts, but I think that will be just for the minority of you. I feel there's something physical. Maybe it's about joining the army or being promoted in the army. I feel something physical, but not necessarily violent or fighting. So now I'm going to turn to the minor arcana and I'm going to get a bit more information about who, what, when, where. I will be right back. Alrighty, let's get a little bit more information. I'm going to draw 4 cards. So I want these 2. And I want... For you, I'm getting the feeling that I should draw 5 cards. So I want these 5. Let me just tidy this up and we'll see what these 5 cards are. 1 second. Alrighty, let's have a look. Knight of Chalices, 7 of Chalices, 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, Knight of Swords. Alrighty, so we begin with the Knight of Chalices. So you can see this gentleman is quite excited. He's riding high. The knights really capture the essence of each suit. So cups are about emotions. I think this gentleman is very excited. I think for him, the sky is the limit. So I think this ties in with judgment. If you have been chosen to do something, I think there's that celebration, that excitement, that like, yes, I've been chosen. This door, like literally this door has been opened for me. The world is my oyster. I have all these possibilities. So I'm really getting a lot of excitement. And then I think you have to prepare. So whether it's packing your bags, whether it's the logistics of where you're going, I feel a lot of excitement and no time to waste, time to start on this journey. And then we have the 7 of Chalices. So I really feel for a lot of you, This card is about a lot of choices, but not each choice or not each option is a good option. So I think these two together, this can be maybe like, let's say going to college, for instance, and it's like, okay, I've moved out of home, I've got my independence, I can do anything. But not every choice is a good choice. So it's trying to balance that independence, that autonomy with being responsible and making informed choices. I do think you make a good choice. This card, as you can see, this person is applying themselves. They've learned a craft, they've learned a trade. So Three of Pentacles. Three is about creativity and expansion. Here, this is someone who prides themselves on their work. It's someone who works with their hands. So if this is the army, or if it is any other large sort of institution, I think this is some kind of introductory program where you can try different departments, for instance, or different jobs, and you do maybe a few weeks with this department or a few weeks with that department, trying to find, okay, where do you fit into this establishment? I think initially you're a little bit unfocused, but you sort it out pretty quickly. I think you find your trade and you apply yourself quite diligently. I think maybe this is where force or strength comes in, sorry. Because I think you really do throw yourself into this task wholeheartedly. But I think this is kind of warning you to not overdo it. Don't exhaust yourself. I think work steadily. So if you look at the energy of the Three of Pentacles versus strength, strength looks quite frantic, quite intense. Whereas the Three of Pentacles, this gentleman seems to be calm, working steadily. Everything is quite orderly. He's laying all the bricks neatly. The window is shining, whereas strength looks a little bit chaotic. So certainly bring your enthusiasm, but find a way to temper it, find a way to pace yourself. And I especially say that because next door, we've got the Four of Swords. So Four of Swords, this is a card of rest. So fours are about things being stable, maybe sometimes stagnant. I don't think that's the case for you. But I really think if you're looking at something overwhelming, so for instance, this gust of wind here, really breaking down something very large. So similar to the person next door laying the bricks. If you have a large task to do, if you're feeling overwhelmed, just break it down, just take it, one piece at a time or one day at a time. Don't exert yourself, don't overdo it. And I think after a period of rest, after you've said, okay, you know what, I've been working a lot, I've been exhausting myself, have a rest. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So this is your second knight. So again, the knights are the very essence of the cards. Here I'm always drawn to the knight having a sword, but if you look at this looks like a goose to me. The bird here, if you look at its teeth, I would say they look like little swords. But this knight is holding his ground. So I think definitely pace yourself. When you feel exhausted, listen to yourself, have a rest, and then you'll be ready to do battle again. I think you will have become more comfortable in your craft. I think you will be more knowledgeable because the the swords are about the mind. And also this is a knight, not a page. So I feel that if you apply yourself, work diligently, rest is equally as important, and then you can return refreshed, you can have confidence in yourself, you can do battle and hold your ground. I hope that was useful to you. I hope that it made sense to you. Let me know if you need any more information. Otherwise, that's it, Group 2. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. I wish you all the best for 2024. Welcome, group number 3, who chose the Rider-Waite Tarot. So I'm now going to pull 3 cards. They will all be major arcana, and I'm just going to see, in general, what does the next year have in store for you? Alrighty, so firstly we have death. So if you're new to this, don't panic. Death very rarely actually means death. It usually means the end of something and maybe a new beginning. Also, death is the great leveler because here you see we have a king, we have a pope, we have children, adults. Death comes to us all equally. It's the great equalizer. Next door, we have the Hanged Man. So there's a few ways that we can interpret this. We'll pull some more cards. This can be about martyrdom, which ties in quite nicely to death next door, I must say. It can also be about a delay in getting an outcome, or it can be about seeing things from a different perspective, because you can see he is the Hanged Man, but he looks pretty relaxed, pretty stylized. He hasn't been hung from the neck. He's been, he hasn't been hanged from the neck. He's been hanged from the ankle. And then next door, we have Strength. So Strength, we have the Infinity, and I'm never quite sure, is it that the lion is using the strength to open his door, or is it that the lady is using strength or a gentle touch, diplomacy. What's the expression, like what is it, iron fist in a velvet glove or something like that? So using a soft power. Let's see, I'm going to now refer to the minor arcana of this deck to get some more particular details. Next door, we have the Page of Cups. And so this fish in the cup can usually be interpreted as a message. So you might be aware of maybe a different role, maybe someone headhunts you, maybe through your professional connections you hear of a different role. And then next door with the Two of Wands, you've got the world in your hands, and you have to make a strategic decision. So you're between the wands. The wands are about, it can be about communication, negotiation, travel. It can be influence, charisma, and obviously too, there is some kind of duality, some kind of interaction, some kind of partnership there. And I noticed that you're next door to another two, this being the Two of Pentacles, and this is about practical, tangible things. Can be money, responsibilities, maybe what your role is, maybe juggling like home life and work life. I feel that you're trying to do two things. I feel that you still have one foot in this camp here with this idea where you're like, you're doing it wrong, but okay, fine, I'm going to step back and watch you fools fail. But I feel that also you've been offered something else and you're thinking, well, do I stay here and wait it out? Do I act as, the Hanged Man over here? Or do I just cut my losses and move on? I have the feeling these cards are saying, stay, be stubborn, be insistent, as with the Ace of Swords. If you've committed to taking this temporary loss to show these fools that you're wrong and that you are right and they're wrong, stay where you are. Because then we have the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is a celebration. You can see this is quite a merry card. People like literally celebrating, dancing around. So I would say that you currently in your career, you are established enough, you are confident enough, you know your skills, you know the industry, you can make the right judgment call. If other people are not as experienced or more narrow-minded and they want to do something silly, let them. I think just give them enough rope to hang themselves. Meanwhile, just sit back and watch, just give them enough rope to hang themselves. And when their plan fails, you can step back into the light and be like, I told you so. And then everyone, I think, will be like, yes, you are right. We should have listened to you. Sorry that we didn't. So I really see a lot of success and triumph. But with Strength, I think Strength is advising go about this in a diplomatic, gentle, indirect way. I hope that made sense for you. I wish you all the best. This sounds quite intriguing. If this resonates with anyone, please let me know what the situation is. I would love more details. But otherwise, that's it for this reading. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best for 2024. Hello, group number 4, and welcome. So I'm now going to pull 3 cards. They're all going to be major arcana. And I'm going to ask them, what does this year have in store for you? So let's have a look. Okay, so we have the Fool, that speaks of beginnings. We have Death, which speaks of endings. And we have strength. Very not dissimilar to the previous reading. All right, let's see here. So the Fool is about new beginnings, being optimistic, but sometimes being a bit naive. So the expression that goes with this card is look before you leap. Now, next door we have death. So as I said previously, death very rarely is actually about physical death. Mostly it just speaks about an ending to something, and maybe new beginnings. Or I just heard the expression, you reap what you sow. In this deck, I'm just very drawn to his skiff and all these heads. Oh, and arms. Wonderful. Amazing. Okay. Next door, we have strength. And we can see that the lady is closing. This looks like a dog to me. Previously on other decks, it's a lion. This looks like a dog to me. We can see that the lady is closing the dog's mouth, but she seems to be doing it gently. Even her expression, she looks unconcerned. She looks unfazed. So this is a kind of strength or force, but it's more about persuasion, soft power, being indirect, maybe influencing people, getting them to do something, but they think it was actually, their idea, not realizing your influence. It speaks more about that than like brute force. So now I'm going to pull 4 cards from the minor arcana of this deck, the Marseilles deck, just to get a bit more specific information about the situation. One moment. Alrighty, so I'm going to pull 4 cards to get some specific information. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I'm just going to tidy this up and I will be right back. Alrighty, let's see. So we start with the 8 of Wands. Next door we have, this is 2 of Coins. Now, as you can see, it has come up upside down for me, but I don't think it matters in this deck. Then next door we have the 3 of Cups. And then lastly, we have got the Page of Wands. So looking at all of these cards together, sometimes I notice different things in the cards. So these 3 that we have at the top, I notice that they're all facing in the same direction. So they're all headed in the same direction. They maybe are at different points in their journey, but they're all facing the same way. So I think this is about taking a chance. I feel it's either a business venture, like starting a new business, a new investment in particular, or it's about expressing your opinion about something. Maybe speculation, maybe financial speculation, or maybe just voicing your opinion about something in the world today. The Fool speaks about beginnings and just saying, well, let's have a go, let's try. Not having any preconceived limitations, not doubting yourself, just being very optimistic. Death is an ending. Death is reap what you sow. I am looking at these heads in this deck especially. But then Force, I think it's saying if something does come to an end, if something doesn't work out, whether you are in a position to maybe invest some money, as always, any money that you invest, it has to be money that you are prepared to lose. Or if it is starting a new business, give it a go, even if it doesn't work out, because death is about endings. It's saying just keep going, take it in your stride. None of these characters seem particularly fazed. Now to get more information, here we have the 8 of Wands. So 8 of Wands sometimes is someone maybe like standing on a hill and just like standing their ground, basically. So if you want to do something, if you want to express an opinion, if you want to start a business, maybe in a group, maybe you would like to take more of a leadership position in a group, if you want to nominate yourself for president or something like that. If you want to go ahead, don't doubt yourself, like stand tall, like head back, shoulders back, back yourself. And then next door we have the Two of Pentacles. So this can be a bit of a balancing act. I think this is sort of testing you. So if you, let's say that you have nominated yourself for something, or you've expressed an opinion, I think this is really asking you, do you really believe that? Are you going to stand tall? If someone scrutinizes you, or shines the spotlight on you, are you going to really concentrate your efforts, or are you going to sort of backpedal and say, oh, well, I didn't mean that, or well, yeah, I started that business, but, I'm not that committed to it. I think it's asking you, are you really going to stand your ground? Do you really mean it? And if someone tests you, do you have the backbone to stand your ground? I think you do. So yeah, just the Fool is very sort of like optimistic, very like, why not attitude. And then next door, we have got the Three of Cups, which is a celebration. It's a good time. It's creativity, expansion. It can be happy with, like-minded people who just, support you, encourage you. They've got good energy. And next door, lastly, we have the Page of Wands. So I do feel a bit conflicted, because we do have Death, which really is suggesting an ending, and is suggesting that you've started something here with the Fool. It doesn't quite work out. But oh well, no harm done. I think you will have at least learned about yourself that, hey, I did something that scared me and I survived. It wasn't that bad. Maybe I feared how people would react to me, and it wasn't that bad. I feared, public scrutiny. It wasn't that bad. I feared maybe, bankruptcy, and it didn't happen. So I feel initially there'll be this first venture. It won't work out. Or it might not work out to the extent that you wanted it to work, but I think you will take it in your stride and emerge as the Page of Wands, and be like, well, you know what? I've learned something new. I can try again. No one is, successful, overnight. No one is successful at their first attempt. So I feel this is about you being fearless. It's about you being limitless. I think it's less thinking, because do you have any? No, you don't have any swords. So it's not about you being in your head, second guessing yourself, worrying. It's not about that. It's more, I want to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to, put myself out there. I'm going to network with the right people. I'm going to let myself be seen. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to, I think, be very likable, very open, very approachable. It's very much about living, getting out there and doing things. It looks really exciting. So if this resonated with anyone, let me know what adventure you are planning, or what venture you're planning. Otherwise, that's it from me. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best for 2024.